And we're live. Greetings and salvations. I'm Unthoff Neverborn, the abyss that slumbers, and you are listening to Redeye Rants. Farty is feeling ill tonight, so he's not going to be joining us. I think he had a little too much of the drink. And Jacob's going to be filling in tonight, and he's Jacob J. That isn't his last name, isn't J something. He's just Jacob J. It's kind of like Madonna, if Madonna ended in a J. So how you doing, Jacob?
Been good so far. Well, I'm just been good lately. As much as I can be.
The only thing I'm glad to hear that. The only thing I really want to brand is actually a positive thing. I'm glad that the Orwell, the Orville? Yeah, the Orville. That's the name of the show. The Orville has finally come back. They had their premiere episode the other week. I think there's another one tonight or something. And it's looking really good. Go watch it. It's one of the few intellectual properties out there that hasn't been completely gutted and left on the side of the road to rot, like for the crows to come and peck at. I mean, dear God, it's a good sign that the new year is starting off with the Orville, but I have a feeling that every other intellectual property out there is just going to crash and burn this year. I actually cannot wait until Star Wars Episode 9 because I want to see how bad it tanks. You know, I wonder if we could set up a betting pool or something. Any rate, let's move on to the first talk here. We're going to start in no particular order as usual.
All right.
And first up is Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez suggests super wealthy to be taxed up to 70% to fund new Green Deal or Green New Deal or whatever she wants to call it. Are you up to date on what happened here?
No, I haven't.
Well, she went on a 60 Minutes interview and compared herself to FDR and Lincoln. And then said that she wants to set up a new deal where everybody gets, health care and everybody gets all this free stuff here. And then the question is, how are you going to pay for it?
What she means. Well, depends what she means by everyone.
Oh, everyone.
Depends on who gets it.
Regardless of whether or not you even have a social security number. If you're in the country, you get, stuff. But she wants to make it so everybody who earns between $0 and $75,000 a year is only going to get 10 to 15% in income tax. But everybody in the top 10 million or above, they're going to get 60 to 70% taxes. You know what happened the last time?
Taxes still end up. Shit. No, probably before I was born, definitely.
Back in the 60s, we had a 91% tax rate on the richest. But the funny thing is, they didn't actually pay 91% because they had armies of lawyers and certified public accountants who would get them a million different exemptions and get it down to where they were paying nothing. That's why we have our cockamamie crazy tax program that we do, is because the tax rate was so insane, they had to give all these tax breaks in order to motivate people to do the right thing. The problem is that what it actually did was it created a barrier so that normal people couldn't get rich because they couldn't afford the legions of public accountants to keep their taxes down. So the rich got richer and the poor stayed poor. And that's what happens when you have a 70% tax rate. But that's her plan. She's going to simply tax us all into heaven. Any thoughts on that?
Well, you can't expect her to actually come up with anything good. I mean, she went to university, but it's obvious it wasn't because she went through it because of her brains. She definitely got help. Or was laid easy. She just got easy, definitely.
Well, I mean, I know how she got elected. It's because everybody in her district is like, oh, we can't trust these old white guys anymore. And so here's this young, is she Hispanic? I guess, something. Hispanic,
something like that.
It doesn't matter.
It depends, really. It's a vague term. Can be anyone from Cuba, Latin America, Mexico. It's very broad and just
great. I've
made up, really.
Client. Can you babble for about 5 minutes?
Oh,
I'll be right back.
All right. All right, so let's take a look here. Yeah, this girl, she is completely out of her mind. But she is not really that too stupid. She knows more or less what she's doing, but she doesn't care all too much about what it is that could happen. But now, let's just take a look here. If that's what radical means, call me a radical. No, lady, you certainly are not a radical. You're just plain stupid. Let me tell you this. Let's see. What? No. Alright, yeah. Let's see. Crap. Alright. Let me tell you this. This lady, she should not have gotten elected. But yet she still did. Kind of questionable, but understandable. What's going on lately? Mostly in the Hispanic and Black communities. They're not doing too well, at least in their opinion. So what do? They go on and vote for people who they think are going to be doing stuff for them. Especially those who they think are one of them. So a little bit not too surprising that she got elected here. And not too surprising as well that she's bringing this up, this 70% tax.
Sorry about that. I'm not going to get into it. Just wanted to...
That's good.
All right. Any rate, yeah, in regards to this, dear God, I just hope she doesn't get any traction. That's my fear, that people are actually going to listen to her. Because I'm hoping that she just spouts a bunch of insane stuff. People realize she's insane. And she finally crushes the...
No.
But we can only be...
I'm going to tell you this now, man. A lot of people in the Hispanic communities, they do vote for this stuff. It's no coincidence that they're voting left. And now especially since she's, quote unquote, one of them. Or one of us.
The only thing that happens in this is you get a bunch of, oh no, we want to stop all those rich capitalists. Well, guess what happens? You get a bunch of rich socialists. You never get true equality. There's always going to be that small 1% who's on top who's going to keep the rest of you down with the socialism. At least when there's capitalism, you have a fighting chance. You know, with socialism, you don't. There's going to be two tiers. There's going to be the ultra rich in charge of everything, and then there's going to be everybody else who's basically slaves. It's what happens in every communist country. It's what happens in every country where socialism takes over. No country has worked with socialism. This is socialism. You know what? I've got the perfect proof here because I used to help people with Medicaid, Medicare when they were retiring, and there's something called supplemental. It's a bunch of different plans run by the federal government, and they all start with a letter. The thing is, though, you have to pick one when you retire, and you're stuck with it for the rest of your life. Unless you're in one of 7 different states. One of them is New York. So what happens is people get into the cheapest plan until everybody in it starts getting sick. And then the cost of that plan starts to go up as the remaining people die off. And the remaining people need more and more health care. It's prorated. So if everybody's healthy, it works. Well, the problem is that everybody who's healthy just moves to a state like New York once, for 3 months, and then they can change their healthcare plan. And we're talking a difference between like $100 a month to $500 a month. I mean, this is a lot. Like, I know there was one plan back when I was doing this about 4 years ago. There was a plan that covered everything. You just paid your premiums for the year, which was about $6,000, and everything was covered. Or you can get into this other plan that is $2,200 a year with a $170 deductible. Yeah, I don't get it, but the reason why that happened is because everybody in the one plan jumped ship. It's unless every state requires everybody to stick with their plan until they die, the system doesn't work. And this is what happens. You get exceptions. When you have 70% taxes on the richest, there's going to be exceptions. And every time there's an exception, it benefits the smart people and ruins everybody else. Sorry to cut you off there. What'd you want to say?
No. More or less, I mean, Cortez, I'm not going to try to say her first name. Alexandra, or whatever it is, right? Alexandria. Ugh.
I believe it was Alexandria was a city with the largest library in the ancient world, and it got burned to the ground. So we can only hope for the same outcome here.
All right, well, more or less, I know that she has to know what she's doing. She doesn't, either she's never thought about the consequences, or she doesn't care about the consequences. Or maybe it's both.
I think she doesn't have a clue what's going on. I really think that this woman is stupid. I mean, I think she's completely ignorant. But the problem is that I think she's also found somebody who says, I'll take care of you. Because she looks like she's the kind of person who needs somebody to take care of her. And this person is the one who is doing everything. There's somebody behind this woman, and he's the one pulling all the things.
Well, but look at her. You could tell what she probably has the idea. Oh yeah, I could take care of this like a woman would, a mother would, with a child, because that's how this stuff usually works. With these women, they go in there with a motherly mindset and thinking this will be good.
Yeah, I don't get it myself. I really don't get what's going on. It's
more or less, she probably got into this on a more emotional state. Like, she got into this because of her emotions. I was like, oh yeah, this is an injustice. I need to go do this based on my own emotions. I'm just saying that a lot of these women who are on the left act on that.
Yeah, that is true. I think that is the case here. What we're dealing with is that does she even have children? I don't think so.
I don't think
this is
so
somebody
either.
that isn't concerned with the future at all, and she thinks she's saving people when she doesn't realize. I think she actually believes all that social justice crap. She thinks all white men are evil, and that it's all about racism and sexism, and it's all about power dynamics. And unfortunately, I think she's going to realize that if you attack the people who are actually paying, their taxes and actually supporting the government, sooner or later they just stop working. But we'll find out.
Only time will tell. And I say that right now because I'm not seeing a whole lot of reaction coming from the right. Just a little bit of honesty right there. You got a couple of groups doing something, but you don't really see a lot of reaction.
Well, I mean, part of me also believes that the right is a problem too, because I think that there's a lot of neocons out there. They pretend to be conservatives, but they're not. Because they look at this and they go, well, if she institutes that plan, we're going to be of the 1% that's rich and ruling everything. So why should we be fighting this? Anyway, moving on. Let's move on to Italian restaurant serves fried air. Yes, that's right. In the Italian town of Castelfranco Veneto, what a name, they've come up with a way to fry air. They use tapioca pudding to make the skin. They infuse it with ozone, treat it with a special perfume, and then put it in a bed of cotton candy. And the goal is to remind people of clouds.
This is asinine. This is total asinine.
One of those places that it's $30 for fried air. $30. I'm willing to bet here the tapioca pudding and the
Wait, was it just like a bubble? Is that really what it is? Just a bubble?
It's just a bubble of air with on cotton candy. The cotton candy is probably more expensive. Why do you infuse it with ozone? Dear God, that's what comes out of the exhaust of your car.
Well, it's just let stupid people eat it. I mean, as soon as they die off, I mean, I guess the better.
I don't know. I'm just, I'll give them props for figuring out how to sell air. But I think this just goes to tell you that people will buy stuff because it's expensive. Just to show off. Look how expensive it is. I'm spending $30 on air.
Yep. Or was it like those small little bit size of meat that they serve in those restaurants? It's exactly like that.
In a heirloom tomato compost. Oh well. Moving on to.
Yeah, what they do?
I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, go on.
Moving on here, we got.
Oh, no. Keep going.
Okay, Marine Corps integrate male and female platoons during boot camp for the first time. And I need to stop this video from.
Can you hear me? Because I'm not hearing you too well.
Can you hear me? Am I cutting out?
No. You were a little.
Oh, yeah, the bandwidth is starting to fluctuate on this.
All right, yeah, I can say a little bit of rants right here.
Okay, well, let's move on to this here. For the first time in history, the Marine Corps will integrate female and male platoons during boot camp. Unlike other services, the Marine Corps are not fully integrated women and men during recruit training. Instead, in Recruit Depot, Parris Island in South Carolina, the first 3 battalions are all male, while the 4th battalion is all female. However, this winter, they were kind of low on people, so they said, what the hell, we'll just combine it all, while the change is now...
Oh, hold on. That right there. I'm going to get to that in a little bit. Keep going.
Okay. Well, they're combining into one big training camp because they've only got 9% of their recruits are female, and they're putting it all together. And so I think we're going to see once and for all whether or not this whole women's equality thing actually works. Because I got a feeling. I mean, the fact of the matter is,
all right,
the Marines is just pure abuse. It's nothing but abuse. It destroys your body.
All right. This is what I was going to say. Right there. Because what was it? They didn't have enough troops? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Is this why they brought them in?
Recruits.
Yes. This happened back in World War I with the Russians. They threw in the women because they were starting to run low on troops from the men.
Oh, you think every time that overall they're still... That this isn't just a winter thing. This might be an overall trend.
It's just going to happen all over the branch of military, man. It's going to keep on going.
I mean,
I'm pretty sure.
Oh, go ahead.
I'm pretty sure it's really spread to the majority of the military.
I don't mind if women want to die for my country. I'm okay with that. You want to fight and die, that's fine. But my thing is I don't think they truly understand what this is about.
No, they don't.
Because when you're a guy, every rite of passage from a boyhood to manhood involves to some degree or other enduring pain. It's like you go into a sweat lodge, you hunt down a bear, you drink 20 shots of tequila, something like that. But it's something where you put up with a whole bunch of abuse and you endure the agony, and now you're a man. Okay? That's what men are taught. We're taught that you are going to have to put up with shit. You're going to have to suffer because that's what a man does. It all boils down to you need to suffer.
Well, yeah, we're meant to take up a lot of physical and definitely psychological abuse. I mean, we were bred for this very early on, and women didn't have the mental capability to do it. Neither do they have the physical ability to do it too.
Oh, I'm sure there's far ends of the bell curve. Let's say hashtag not all, but in general, the bell curve is pretty obvious. And I mean, if somebody wants to do this, I got no problem with it. My only concern is is, from what I've heard, they reduce the qualifications for women.
But yeah, that's my problem with it. I do have a problem.
If is men, fine. But if you're reducing it for
but that's
women,
the thing.
That's not good for you.
But
that's not good for the women.
But yeah. Well, that's the thing. Majority of the women can't. There are very few. That's the thing. Very few exceptions to this. But yet, even then, those exceptional women can barely compete with the men. So I don't care about the exceptions. Because if they're barely able to compete with the men, no, just plain no. We don't need people who are not capable of fighting wars in the military.
I agree. My position is there should be a set standard for everybody, period, end of statement. And if you don't make it, you don't make it. Because I didn't.
Well, yeah.
My grandfather was in the Marines. My father was in the Marines. And I tried out for it, and I didn't qualify. They said, you should go into the... And I'm like, no. If I can't make it, I can't make it. You know, I didn't pass the physical. You know?
This is why we didn't have women. This is why we didn't have women serving both world wars.
I mean, I didn't make it, so I'm not exactly. I'm in with most women here, but that's besides the point. I don't. It's not about my ego, you know. I don't represent. That's the big problem I'm noticing is like one woman represents all women. No, one woman represents one woman. I don't represent all men. I failed. Therefore, all men are failures at joining into the Marines? Hell no. One woman fails.
No.
Women. But
here's the thing.
Most. You know, it might be most. But it's most guys, too. Most guys don't make it as well. I mean, we're just talking about who's got more of a percentage of the small minority.
Here's the thing. We need to stop looking at this from an equality standpoint. Because this is the military. And for centuries, since the beginning of our species' history, it's been men who's been fighting wars, fighting battles. We were made to handle this stuff. Women weren't. That's just a harsh reality.
Oh, well. Anything else on this before moving on?
No, not really.
Because there is already an ongoing war in Russia. Russian city declares war on stationary speed cameras. Police in the Russian city of Sevastopol, I can't pronounce it, was scrambling to find vandals responsible for destroying a dozen speed cameras in the last month. Apparently, there's a bunch of people who have decided to take to using pellets from air guns and sledgehammers and other means to destroy speed cameras all over the city.
Wait, what's the reason?
They don't know. They haven't caught anybody yet. They've destroyed 16 speed cameras in the past month, and they can't catch the people, even though they're attacking a camera.
This makes no sense.
Yes, it does, because in America, camera shoots a picture of you, and in Russia, you shoot camera.
Or they think it's going to steal their soul. Could be that.
Oh, yes, they might be. The cameras are stealing souls. I'm like,
wait.
These are like.
So where does this? Oh crap! Where is this mostly occurring?
This is in
Russia,
Russia,
all over.
one city in Russia, and these are like $30,000 a camera. This is going over $1 million.
Jesus.
Cameras they've destroyed. This is getting up there. This is really getting up. No, wait. 20. Let's say 20. No, it's only $500,000. I'm sorry, I'm doing my math wrong here, but still.
Oh, hold on. Got Doku here. Got the epileptic insomniac. Got Moondog. Hey guys.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I can't right now. My bandwidth's so crappy, I can't watch the chat. So if anybody's there, hi, how's it going? I'm keeping track of the chat to Jacob here for now because. Although I am moving, I've finally moved into my new home, and I hope to actually start broadcasting from there because I paid for the gigabit Ethernet. It is so fast, it breaks the speed thing. I got a website I go to check my internet speed, and it maxes it out at 350 megs upload and download. I love this thing. I hope to actually have time to do it from home sometime, but we'll see. Right now, I still have to do it from work until I get this taken care of. Anyway, shall we move on?
Sure. I'm going to ask them how we're sounding right now.
I'm sure it's crappy because my internet keeps going in and out. At any rate here, talented makeup artist turns his face into 3D optical illusion. I don't think you can see the picture because you're using your phone there, but this is some freaky...
Oh, no, I'm looking at it with my laptop right here.
Oh, okay. This is his actual head. He does all of his makeup so that from the right angle, it looks like it's three-dimensional weird shit, but holy crap. This is some dedication. He turns himself into a cubist artist. I mean, my God, he puts a ladder in his skull. I gotta admit, that is amazing. But like, wow, I'd want him to do my makeup if I ever had any. I just thought this needed to be mentioned. This is just weird shit.
Nah, I've seen weirder.
On a person's face.
Yes.
All right, okay. I guess they may be weirder. But man, that just looks weird. Anyway, let's move on to 2 Trump stories.
All right.
We're going to start off with the fact that Trump says the shutdown of the government could last months or even years. We should be so lucky. Oh my God, I would love it. I would love it if the government shut down for years. Because they're only shutting down unnecessary spending. If it's unnecessary, why were we spending the money in the first place?
Oh, a little bit of trouble right there.
You think it'll last that
long? Not from your end.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm cutting in and out again.
Yeah. Going a little bit of static.
Yeah,
a little bit of static is going on with you.
Yeah, the internet, I'm watching it, and it's just dropping. We'll make this real quick here then. I'm hoping it lasts for years. That's what I'm hoping for. I think that the Democrats eventually are going to cave. And they're going to give him his lousy $5 billion because they can't afford to not do it. So, but Donald Trump does have...
No, I think they can. They've waited so long already to get to what they want, where they wanted to. A slightly longer wait probably won't hurt them.
Oh, I mean years. I don't think it's going to last years. Maybe a month. It'd be nice if it lasted a month or two, but we'll see. We'll see.
Alright, is that it? Or is there something else?
Well, one last. Hold on, see if I can get it to load. Okay, there we go. It's starting to load. Why won't you die? An Australian's fight with a spider sparks a police call. Yes, in Sydney, an Australian man triggered an emergency police response after a noisy exchange with a spider startled a passerby into reporting what sounded like a violent disturbance to the authorities. Yes, that's right. This guy was trying to kill a spider while his kid was screaming. And he was saying, "Why won't you die?" Well, the spider won't die because it's Australia. And the spiders carry knives down there. And so we know what happened to Farty. Unfortunately, he was trying to kill a spider and then he got arrested again. So that's why I saved this one for last. That's why Farty's not here. He tried to kill a spider and now he's in jail. So hopefully he'll be out next week and he'll be able to come back.
Well, yeah, apparently spider murder is illegal in Australia.
Well, up in America, we call them arachnid Americans. Spider is their word. You can't use that word. But down in Australia, they don't care about, like, non-human rights.
Oh, so epileptic insomniacs asks, what was the spider saying to piss the guy off?
I think it was a social justice spider, and it was demanding equal rights, in my opinion.
No, yeah, that should do it.
You see, it didn't have. See, it already had lost 2 legs, and so it was applying for disability. And because it had been in his house, it had squatters' rights, and he couldn't evict it. So, you know, he had this deadbeat spider sponging off the government living in his house that he couldn't get rid of. So he finally flipped out and tried to kill it with a shoe. And then it took the shoe and kicked his ass, apparently. Oh, yeah. My God, yeah. So, once again, Australia proves that it's among the most deadly of continents, and to go there is to invite instant death. Any other comments or suggestions or anything from the audience before we wrap this up? Because my internet keeps going in and out, and it's going to die soon. Nothing?
All right. Anyone from the chat, can you hear him or no?
I'm thinking they don't hear.
Okay. Okay. Now I can hear you, but you just went out there for a little bit.
Yeah. I think we're gonna have to wrap this up here because this internet connection's dying already. I can see it. It's dropping into the single digits. Alrighty. Well, it's been real and it's been fun. It's been okay fun. Hopefully, I'm actually going to be able to start broadcasting from home soon with an actual internet connection that doesn't completely suck. All right, I'll talk to you later, and I hope everybody else has a pleasant evening. Any last words before we head out, Jacob?
Crap. No, I'm good.
All right. Night, everybody.